Hey, what's up, Taurus? Welcome back to another timeless general tarot reading. Going to be doing my 139 spread per the usual. And without any further ado, allow me to find the core energy for your reading today. As usual, don't forget to check the description box below for ways that you can support me on this channel. And core energy that wanted to come out for you today, we've got, the Eight of Swords. Shaping up to be a healing reading, not necessarily a validation reading, which Taurus can typically take that on the chin. So let's not fret just quite yet, but as a core energy, oftentimes this has to do with the fact that you have sort of trapped yourself trying to defend too many things. And another way to say that is you're afraid of losing something. So the depiction here is that this person is afraid of losing these 8 swords, so they've just decided to kind of tie themselves to the swords. And that's not the same energy that got you to that position in the first place. It was a different type of fearlessness that actually succeeded in your achievement. It was not embracing this type of anxiety, this hyper-defensive anxiety. So even though you might feel complacent and you might feel like you're protecting what's yours, that energy is also bound to a certain mental lacking. Like it's law of attraction that's got you stuck in that feeling of lack, which is not going to help you move on. So let's see what kind of clarifiers we can get to expound upon this. Alright, first clarifier, we've got the Ace of Swords. It's an interesting interval. Once again, the Ace of Swords it's quite the opposite of the Eight of Swords. You're not disappointed in your achievement, you are... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm losing the optimal word off the top of my head, but... Okay, so second clarifier, the two of Wands, interesting. So Eight of Swords clarifying these two is very bizarre because Ace of Swords is your desires actually coming into fruition. It's your anticipations actually succeeding for you. It's successful anticipation. It's accomplishing your anticipations, whether they be verbal or mental in some degree. Once again, the energy to bust out of this Eight of Swords is going to be getting back to this Ace of Swords energy, which is the anticipation and like the vibrance, the optimism, the assuredness of your success. It's the opposite of this feeling of lack from the Eight of Swords. It's the complete opposite. The Ace of Swords is boundless in its potential. The Eight of Swords is quite bound to what it could lose, and it's bound to that fear. So using the Ace of Swords, perhaps you could cut your fear. As cliche as that sounds. As for the Two of Wands, once again, that's another card about your anticipations coming to fruition. It's about you looking into the future, towards your future progress, towards what you want to achieve, towards what you want to accomplish. And once again, at the Ace level, which is 1, and at the Two of Wands level, which is 2, you're quite far removed from having the Eight of Swords abundance, which is why when you were in those energies, it was easier for you to achieve up to that level. But you didn't achieve at those lower levels because you were afraid of losing stuff. You had anticipation about success. So it's a call for you to get back to that. It's a call for you to get back to your positive anticipations, which is how it's very cliche sounding, but it's how law of attraction works. Law of attraction works through, you've got to match the vibration, and unfortunately, if you're stuck in the Eight of Swords energy, you have lost the vibration that got you that far. And that's sort of what I'm seeing here, is that's how you can get back to that. So let's look for a final clarifier here. Those two make a lot of sense. Right, so final clarifier, magician. Yep. So 1, 2, 1 that goes up to 4. Stabilization. The magician is positive manifestation. So this is speaking to what I'm suggesting here, that the original energies that you had, the original manifestational capacities that you were channeling in your mind, and possibly in your soul, you have found yourself a little bit removed from those optimisms, from those assured energies. And the bottom line here is that you are now in a weird space where you've turned towards trying to protect everything as opposed to trying to achieve more things. So instead of having a mindfulness of achievement and growth and receiving, you're in a weird state of fear where you are afraid to lose things. But focusing on all of that makes you... It's very hard to defend all of those things at the end of the day. You're much better off continuing to have a mindset of growth to get more things. So, very powerful. I'm sorry that you're in this mindset, but there's a lot of energy here about how to deal with it. And it's kind of a calling here to remember how you got to this place that you're in. The fear you found yourself in is not how you got there. So, let's see what we've got. Let's see. Let us start to clarify some of the Ace of Swords energy. I just got a text message. I think somebody might be coming over, so I'm going to see if I can finish this up here. Let's see. Clarifiers for the Ace of Swords, please. Alright, so we'll grab these two. And start off, we've got King of Cups, Queen of Cups reversed. That's very bizarre. So the King of Cups, that's somebody who's very much in control of their emotions. The Queen of Cups reversed, though, that's somebody who's once again found themselves in fear. They have found themselves in fear of losing the way they feel. So they're in a weird state. It kind of matches this Eight of Swords energy. They're kind of like... They've found themselves in an energy of scarcity. And that can lead them to more toxic energy. It's not the more endearing quality of who they are. So we're seeing an interesting dynamic here where who you used to be was more in this King of Cups energy, which was very, very robust in their optimistic thinking. But now that you've found yourself in Eight of Swords, the Queen of Cups in reverse is kind of where you're at now, where they're in a much more negative energy. Much more negative energy about losing what they've got. So very interesting how that's matching up there. So let's see, one final clarifier. I'm not sure how that has to do with the Ace of Swords, though. The King of Cups isn't afraid to speak their mind if they're in the upright, because they've got their heart under control and they've got its abundance in the proper position. That makes it easier for them to have the confidence to speak out with this Ace of Swords energy. So maybe to a certain extent here, you have lost that naturalness for some reason. And I'm not getting any real clarifiers here as to why that is, but that's sort of what the energy is reverberating back to me here. So let's see, one final clarifier for Ace of Swords, and you've got the Temperance in reverse. Yep. So Temperance in reverse, that's definitely a sign of not being willing to shed certain weaknesses. So one of those weaknesses, of course, is the fact that you have fallen into this lacking mentality. You're afraid to lose everything you've got, and that's put you into an untenable position to protect everything you have. It's not how things work, and it's not what got you into this energy. So this is suggesting, and the other interesting thing here is you've got King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and Temperance, which is bearing these cups on it. So a lot of emotionality tied up into this, whereas originally you had mentalism and active energy with your manifestation. So a good sign here that your heart wasn't interfering with you initially on this journey, but then as fear started to seep into you, your emotions have started to lead the way, and you haven't managed to shed that out of you yet. And one way you can start to make that difference is you've got to turn to your rationality. you've got to turn more towards a different semblance of truth, mental truth, rational denomination. You can't just keep letting your heart lead the way here. It is deterring you. It's causing you to fall into this fear. So it's disappointing, but that's what I'm seeing here. Let's move on to the Two of Wands. Clarifiers for the Two of Wands, please. Just got a shuffle sense, so I'm going to just shuffle real quick. As I was saying at the beginning of the video, make sure you check the description box below for ways that you can support this channel, whether it be liking the video, leaving comments, following me on other social medias, subscribing to this channel, sharing the video, or sending me donations on PayPal. All of that stuff is very greatly appreciated, and seeing the subscriber count slowly but surely climb is one of the most motivating things about this whole thing. So I really appreciate it when people give me some kind of material support for my effort. It really helps things along, so I really appreciate it if you do that. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Clarifier for the Two of Wands, please. And you're actually in a good spot here. Some of the other readings so far have had a lot of reverse cards in their clarifiers, and you're actually rocking a lot of positive ones. So it's very good to see here. Alright, so here's one. We've got, for the Two of Wands, the Page of Pentacles in reverse. That's a tricky reading, for sure. Typically the... Okay, give me 1 second. Somebody just shut up. Alright, sorry about that back. I just got some terrible news. One of my cats, my sister just informed me one of my cats was hit by a car, so I'm going to wrap up this reading and I've got to go deal with that. She said that the cat's dead. That really sucks. Really sucks. I'm going to finish this reading though for you. So, we've got Two of Wands, followed by Page of Pentacles. Two of Wands is about looking at your outlook for the future in an optimistic sense. What's very bizarre here, though, is that I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And Page of Pentacles in reverse is... that is a card about not being so optimistic in your outlook, very interestingly. So we're seeing another dynamic here where, like, you're starting out with all the proper energy to make these achievements, but then as time goes on, and as your success piles up, you start to lose that enthusiasm. You start to lose that optimistic outlook, and you start to fall into a little bit more toxicity, a little bit more negative emotionality, and falling into those spaces is what's going to get you stuck in this Eight of Swords, in this fear of losing everything. So let's move on here. Alright, so the second clarifier, we've got the Six of Swords reversed. It's another card of not moving on. It's another card of being stuck. It vibes with, once again, it vibes really hard with the Eight of Swords. And it doesn't match this Two of Wands. So another sign here that I'm not sure what this is for you. I'm not sure what you have achieved. Because the energy here is that you have manifested something and you have achieved something. But with time, you've fallen into this fear. And you have found yourself stagnated. You're having trouble moving forward. And once again, part of why you're having trouble moving forward, unfortunately, is your emotions have started to get the better of you. And you are afraid of losing everything. It's very hard to defend absolutely everything, though, especially when you become stagnant like this, because you lose any proactivity to even protect it all. And that makes it easier for you to get picked off from multiple sides. So even though you might be... So it's usually just... It's just a compounding sense of failure to a certain extent, because if you're trying to protect everything, it's even easier to pick you off because you become a sitting target. Because you've stuck you stuck everything into non-action, and that makes it easier for you to get picked off like that. So it's not even a good solution to protect everything. So it's kind of what I'm trying to get through here to you, is that you're going to have to get back to these old energies that actually got you into this position in the first place. And it might take a little bit of a leap of faith. It's going to take a little bit more determination, a little bit more optimistic anticipations, but that's sort of par for the course here. So I'm going to get one more clarifier here. The moon. So the moon, Pisces energy, in the upright. The moon it's about illusions. It's about the fact that there's some kind of illusory nature that is plaguing your system for some reason, plaguing your conscience here. And that illusion is apparently what has got you afraid. So essentially more of what this is suggesting again, once again, is that you are, whatever this fear is, whatever this fear-based emotionality is that has gotten you into this Eight of Swords predicament, whatever the basis for that is, it is not real. It is some kind of illusion. There's some kind of illusion stuck in your craw that is getting you stuck in this position. And the Temperance Angel in the reverse is a sign that you are not actually managing to shed that weakness. You're not managing to shed that illusion from your system. And seeing this King and Queen of Cups, I'm not sure if that's somebody then in your experience. Maybe you have like an optimistic masculine figure. Doesn't have to be male or female, but somebody in a masculine sense who maybe inspired you to this action. But now there's a feminine feature that's going along with this that could take you out of that. That's putting you into some kind of fear. And that's very disappointing. So I don't know if that's true, if it's people or not. That's something that you all will have to filter through for yourselves. But it could be a piece of the puzzle for some of you. So otherwise, it's just a lot of emotionality mixed into this whole thing. So let's move on to the Magician. Let's get some, oops, let's see here. High Priestess reverse one to flip out. All right, so 2 off the top for Magician. We've got, dang, you got the Nine of Swords coming out. Nine of Swords and Hangman in reverse. So I don't know why, but it's almost like your manifestational capacity is part of what has put you in fear here. It's almost as if you're afraid of your own power or something. It's almost as if your own power has forced you into this dilemma. But the Nine of Swords matches this Page of Pentacles in reverse. It matches the Six of Swords. And it crosses here, matches the Temperance Angel in reverse. All of that, it's all talking about paralysis. Six of Swords reverse paralysis. Page of Pentacles reverse paralysis. Temperance Angel, it's a form of paralysis. Eight of Swords is a form of paralysis. So a lot of paralysis here. And then the Hanged Man in reverse is a sign that you aren't actually managing to, you're not managing to figure out why this is. So for some reason, you're afraid of your own manifestational capacity. It's got you kind of wound up. Maybe you're afraid of what you can accomplish. Maybe you're afraid of what you can achieve. Maybe there was like some kind of collateral damage for your manifestation and it's got you wigged out a little bit, perhaps. It's really got you twisted up though, because when the Hangman is in the reverse, that means that you are abusing that power. You are abusing that retrospection, and you're not doing your due diligence with that time, which usually means that what you're doing is you're reinforcing the fear. You're either reinforcing the fear, you're basically, it's suggesting that you're reinforcing this Eight of Swords, and it's because of this fear you're running into. And because it's coming off of the Magician, it's like, it speaks to the idea that you are afraid of your own manifestational capacity. And I'm not sure why that is, but if you want to move beyond those energies, you've got to move out of the fear. You've got to shed the illusions that keep you afraid. And it just might not be true. You might not need to be afraid of your own power. So I don't know if somebody's convincing you of that, or if something has made you afraid of yourself and your own strength in that regard. But if you're falling into the Eight of Swords, and it's twinged up here by the Nine of Swords, like, that's not where you want to be. You want to be in a better place than that. You want to get back to this King of Cups energy. And you want to get back to these manifestational capacities that got you to this momentum in the first place. So definitely a lot of rational call here, and a lot of energy about sort of getting back to your own strength. So let me find one more card here. And I have to go upstairs and bury my cat, basically. She was a great cat. She was full of love. She was very brave. But I think she might have been ready to get out of here. She wasn't allowed to stay in the house anymore, even though it wasn't her fault, really. And nobody seemed to care. I didn't have a say in the matter, so I guess she finally was done being outside. Being abandoned. Alright, so your final clarifier for the Magician. Five of Swords reversed. Interesting. Again, another sign of your illusions not serving you very well. It's another sign of that. And another sign, it's a sign that people might have actually tried to give you the same advice I'm giving you, but you weren't able to hear them. And because you were continuing to go down whatever this Eight of Swords path is, those people don't seem to, they didn't follow you along the path. They didn't follow you along your new journey. So it's a bigger shot here that you're actually losing people along the way. And that's not any good. Dang, so this evolved into very strange reading here with all of the support cards are all in the upright, but then the clarifiers are basically all reversed here. So, I mean, it's sort of another card of stagnation because you, once again, are not managing to, you're losing things that you don't need to be. And usually that's coming from a lack of this original determination. You found yourself lost in this paralysis, and it is weighing down on you. So much so that because you're in this fear-based decision making, other people don't want to follow you down that path. And it's another sign of you to shake off your illusions of why you feel this way, and to re-embrace gaining your own power, and to regain your own strength and your own manifestational power. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this fear, and you're going to be stuck in all of this stagnancy. And I don't think that's where you want to be. I think you want to be in a much more stable place than that. You don't want to feel those things. You don't want to be thinking these fearful things either. You want to be in a much better place than this. So I think that's going to be it for this reading, Taurus. Thank you very much for being here. Take care, and good luck.